Also, yeah, this weekend, we're gonna have a special guest on Sunday, so make sure you tune into Sunday's stream. We stream at the same time every day. There will be a good guest, I promise you that much. Hey nerds! It's Sage Master Sundays. No, it's not. Rebecca come on Sunday. No. Donald Trump? No, I'm not spoiling it. You guys will find out on Sunday. I promise you you'll enjoy it though. Make sure you come on Sunday. New heroes join the battle, as expected. Fell reincarnation. Yeah, initial impression on this art is basically, I don't like it. But that's an opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, and my opinion is that I don't like this art. I think he looks awkward. Like his smile, it looks weird. I don't know. His hand is like the opposite of Reinhardt. His hand is like bigger than his head. We went from small hand versus Reinhardt to like, whoa, look at me, I have a giant hand. So I don't know, I don't like the art, first impression. Other than that, I guess, like, I know some people like this and it's just based on opinions, right? So some people like it, some people don't. As for the actual unit typing itself, green, armor, dragon. A bit of a shocker, but honestly not that useful. Just on a first impression, I'm gonna tell you that this green armors and green dragons are very competitive. So for him to be useful, he probably has to be min-maxed on his stat lines like crazy, or have some crazy high BST, as either one of those two things. So he has like what, like 10 speed and like 40 attack, 40 defense, 40 res, and like 60 HP or something for me to consider him like best of class in both dragons and armors, because you have Hector in the green armors, you have Myrrh in the green dragons, you have Faye in the green dragons, and these are all really good options. Faye is even free to play. Like, you don't, this class, this movement class, seems to have more problems than it has things going for it. That's my first impression. I'll reserve my impression for how good he is with stats after we see it. His BST is probably gonna be just like 175, is my guess. Something like Hector's BST. I know some people think that he might be like 180 BST or something. That's not true. That can't be possible because Robin is not a trainee. Okay, so skills. Vengeful Fighter 3 is finally back on non-seasonal units. I'm really glad they did this, finally. Expiration is just literally a lightning breath that's more powerful. However, there are some pros and cons to this. And the pros is, of course, that lightning breath actually gives you plus 5 HP and extra stats of your choosing. So in some cases, you might actually end up having like extra speed, where you might want to build a speed Noe. You may have more defense to go for like a really high defense build, or high res. I've seen some builds with Noe also do like high res, even on some coaching streams and such. So there are some pros and cons to this. The one thing that's objectively better though is that this doesn't increase your cooldown count. But even that doesn't really matter, because if you get doubled, your 6 charge on an Aether is going to have the same result as a 5 charge on Aether, assuming you use Steady Breath or Warding Breath, which will most likely be the best case scenario. So the fact that Lightning Breath actually increases cooldown charge doesn't seem to matter, guys. Doesn't seem to matter at all. Ignis on his base kit, whatever, doesn't. I mean, it's gonna be pretty good if you don't have Aether. Yeah, Vengeful Fighter's a given. War Dragons though, that's kind of cool. I know that this can kind of be like the same application as armors, but at least dragons do have mobility as opposed to armors. The armors actually have to give up their C slot to use Armor March, where dragons don't have to. So having like a team full of War Dragons is pretty scary. That'll give some Falchion users some pretty hard time, at least for player phasing. You can beat out War Dragons easily just by baiting out enemy phase, just like I was doing today in Arena Assault. So take that as an impression that you will have to probably focus more units on enemy phase baiting. This kind of makes Alm weaker. That's what I see out of War Dragons. Running into a team full of War Dragons, Alm's going to miss some kills. Also, you can kind of calculate the damage of Ignis here. This is the one thing that I think is the coolest thing about Robin and this dragon, man. I feel like this is like Maple Story, and if you guys remember what Horntail was, it's like the giant dragon that actually looked exactly like this in Maple Story. I didn't play like that much, but I remember that dragon looking awesome, and that's what this reminds me of, just a giant head, and he's like, Robin's like summoning that. The damage here means that He's getting 28 bonus damage, which means that he has, I believe, 36 defense or so. It's 36 or 35 defense bonus damage from Ignis. This is assuming no buffs, and he's level 40. So we can assume that his defense stat is already going to be really good. Okay, so here's your next boy. Surprising that he's actually on the banner, because I know that this guy is one of the like more final bosses in Mark's game. Probably more expecting him to be like a Grand Hero battle. But I guess Takumi also works. Blue armor. For those of you that don't know, blue armor has not had any single addition to it on the permanent pool since the game started. So Harden is well deserved here. The only other blue armors in the pool are Effie and Wendy. I still think Wendy's awesome, and I still think Effie is awesome. The advantage that this Harden is gonna have, and you'll see in a moment, I like the art though. I think it's pretty cool. And I've heard many positive things about the voice. I think the sprite is actually pretty cute too. Cute, yes. An evil man is definitely cute. The advantage that Harden has over Effie and Wendy is that he doesn't have to sacrifice his A skill for this encounter. Of course, the con to that is also that you don't want to replace Gradavius with like Slaying Lance, Carrot Lance, or Rider's Bane, or Berkut's Lance. So you have your pros and cons. It's not necessarily objectively better. At least it's not as high investment as Effie and Wendy is. Effie and Wendy are still going to be better if you want to go for long-term low costs, right? Unless you're going to whale for Harden at plus 10. One thing though is that Harden is definitely going to be more points than Wendy and Effie because of his legendary weapon. So that's one thing to consider. Vengeance is interesting, but probably not that useful. You're gonna probably run him with, I'm gonna guess, Bonfire or Ignis based on what his stats are. We don't know yet. This is the first time we're seeing Brazen Defense Resistance. I think that it will be kind of scary in combination with something like Vengeful Fighter and Bold Fighter, or maybe Bold Fighter and Quick Riposte. Maybe not Quick Riposte, but definitely something's gonna be scary where this guy's gonna be unkillable. You're gonna need like a hard counter with TA, because I'm gonna assume that his defensive stats are so high that with Brazen activated, you're just going to be unable to kill him without like TA. You might reach like the 50s or something in terms of defensive stats. Anyways, Bold Fighter, again, being on the 4-star availability, but being on the permanent pool is a great addition. I do like it when I see skills being added to the permanent pool, even if they might not be the funnest to play against, at least more people have that option. And if you have a problem with these skills, then all you need to do is get good. Get good, boys. I'll run you through. Boom. 0 bonus damage because Vengeance scales off health. Between Takumi and this unit, I actually like this one the most. Other than Robin's like Maple Story reference to Horntail, which was kind of cool. I don't actually care too much about Robin. I'm not going to be pulling on it. Just it's a quick heads up, but I'm going to talk about pulling after. Yeah, this is awesome. It's all these are kind of like minor spoilers to their games, but not that much. I think like I don't know anything about Harden, and I don't feel like I'm offended that Harden is like possessed or something. When I do play Mart's game to see Harden, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, spoilered from Fire Emblem Heroes, so it doesn't really matter to me. But this is awesome. I think this is my favorite unit out of the bunch, other than Takumi. I'll reserve my opinion on Takumi until I actually see him with voice lines and everything. But yeah, out of the ones I've seen so far, this is awesome. Beloved Sylvia. A lot of people wanted this weapon in the game. It's finally here, and it's ridiculous. However, she is classified as a red sword, and you guys probably already know how I feel about red swords. We have too many, and we're gonna probably get more. We're probably gonna get Legendary Ike, so we're just gonna have more and more red swords, and we already have so many good red swords. I mean, I already use Chrom. I already use Mia. We're gonna get Legendary Ike. You guys are probably already using regular Ike. You're probably already using Ryoma. You probably have Zelgius if you run armors. You probably have Xander. We just got Xander. For people who haven't played, you just got Xander. So is she fitting a niche that the others don't? I doubt it. She has nothing special. Chill speed can be inherited. Beloved Sophia is awesome. Don't get me wrong. But like, it's not that special. It really isn't. Like Ragnal Astra, even Resolute Blade, like these are all weapons that are going to be more powerful than this. She's just probably really tanky. That's what I see out of this. Grants defense 3, attack speed defense res 4. That's what I see. I see super tanky Celica. That's what I see out of this build, out of this character. Like maybe one of the tankiest red infantry units. But she's not going to compete with my Chrom, at least on an enemy phase. And she'd probably be pretty good on player phase, so maybe she could be a really good player phase Red Sword. But you already have Ira for that. You already have Mia for that. You already have maybe Ryoma for that. I don't think in terms of kit, skills, or her role are anything special. If I was already to predict which one's going to get demoted here, it's likely to be this unit. But she is a fan favorite, so maybe not. Perish. Boom. There's Big Hands again. And there's our new story unit. It's Leviathan's sister. I don't think she's going to end up on the Legendary Banner, guys, in case you're asking me. They haven't seemed to release any of the villains yet, so I don't think that she would break the mold by doing that. Yep, so that's pretty much it. Coming out tomorrow, I guess. My opinion on whether you should pull or not. Don't. Why? Because none of these units are that special. They're pretty cool. They're definitely cool, but they're not special. Green Armor Dragon is a new unit type. I'm glad it's in the permanent pool, but it competes with either Green Armors or Green Dragons, and both of which have very strong units. If you guys already have Myr, you probably don't need Robin. If you already have Hector, which is still on the banner, you don't need Robin, most likely. And yeah, like save your orbs for the more better value. Or better yet, when the next bunch of seasonal comes out, that's really powerful, go for those. And I bet you that since these guys will be on the permanent pool, you might just get pity broken. So save your orbs for that. I'm telling you, in 3 months, you guys will literally be complaining to me how you got pity broken by Robin. And I'm going to be laughing because you're probably going to be the same guy that pulled for Robin tomorrow. Don't be that guy, okay? Just save your orbs. They're going to show up in a few months in your barracks, trust me. So that's my impressions. Hopefully you guys learned something from that. Thanks for watching.